Samantha Power. That's never happened before at a political rally. He said to a group of his advisors, before we go any further, I want you to know something. To the advisors, he said, this is so not about me. This is so not about me. Now, what politician on earth, with the exception of the lovely politician who just spoke, would say this is not about me and actually mean it? But he knew something deep about America and America now and the fierce urgency of now, and that is that this campaign is so much about you. It is a movement. It is not a campaign. And I want to just ask, by show of hands or by maybe some applause, how many of you are out here freezing your ass off for the first time in your political lives? I've certainly never done this before. And that is reflective of what is going on in America. There is something happening in America. When you run out of ballots, when people line up around the block for blocks and blocks and blocks, simply to have the privilege of canvassing for Barack Obama, there is something going on in America. You are going on in America. Now, I just want to say a quick word about Obama's foreign policy, because it's actually his favorite subject, national security, the area where, again, the pundits didn't understand quite how broad his grasp was. But I'd like to just sketch a few examples of what Obama has done on foreign policy and what he's capable of and what he will be as president. All of you know that Obama was the only relevant presidential candidate who opposed the war in Iraq. Perhaps the greatest strategic blunder in the history of American foreign policy, and there's only one person standing today in the presidential race who had the judgment to oppose that war. We know that. But maybe what we need to spend more time thinking about is what it took for Barack Obama in October 2002 to stand up at a rally like this one and say he opposed the war. The war had huge approval ratings. Every political consultant on earth was saying, Obama, you've already got the name Obama. You can't oppose the Iraq war. You can't, no. And he said, but why am I in public service if not to take a stand when issues of life and death are at stake? He will stand for what he believes. He will cut against the grain if that is what is required. He is not beholden to conventional thinking, to the herd mentality, as was said, to business as usual. Another example, in this campaign, he set the terms of the national security debate. He said, you know what, I agree with John F. Kennedy. I think we should never negotiate in fear, but we should never fear to negotiate. What are we afraid of? Are we afraid of Ahmadinejad? A Holocaust denier? We're afraid of him? Surely it's tougher to be in the room with somebody and actually make your principles known in person than to lob these verbal grenades from 5,000 miles away. I'm not afraid of Ahmadinejad. People said, oh, but Obama, you can't say that. He said, why can't I say it? We've alienated the world. We have to restore our standing in the world. We have to make America safer. That's what this is about. Another example, Cuba. Final example. I don't know if you've noticed, but the embargo isn't exactly working. Castro has outlasted everyone. It's counterproductive. The Cuban people haven't benefited from this policy. But the political consultant, no, Obama, you can't say it. Florida, you can't mention. And he said, but surely the best weapon the United States of America has is the American people. Is travel to Cuba, is remittances. Let's open this up. We're not ashamed. He will stand up to the herd when it is required. He is pragmatic, he is a problem solver, and when we talk about the fierce urgency of now, it's not just that the planet is melting, that the ice caps are melting, it's not just that the terrorists are proliferating, it's not just that we have to restore our credibility and our standing in the world, our respect in the world. All of that is true. But the way we're going to do that is not just to build a majority in this country. We have to have a working majority. You have to have a president who can appeal to independents and Republicans. We're a divided country. We are a divided country. politically. 50-50 in the Senate, 50-50 in the House. The elections are usually 50-50. Last we checked, the last couple of we were what candidate is actually capable of creating a majority where you can get things done? There's only one. So, thanks to you and this movement, all the pundits and all the political consultants are melting away, and even they are on the Obama bandwagon. But we got to get out the vote. We got a lot of work to do between now and Tuesday, but thank you so much for freezing. Thank you so much for coming out and becoming political because somebody made you believe again. Thank you so much.